And here we are at Great Mis Tor, and that little bit there might be Little Mis Tor, and then there's a load more tours. There's something there, not sure what that is, right by the road, one there by the road, and then you've got a couple over there, and then more on the horizon there. So we're going to skirt around Great Mis Tor and basically head north. Sorry, no, I think we're going to head northeast actually, to the corner of a rivery thing, and then we're going to follow the rivery thing north, and we're just going to walk along it and, you know, see if we can find somewhere along the rivery thing to pitch up. And if we can't, it branches off kind of left and right, so we'll probably take the right branch initially, but everywhere along there is really not that far from Lynch Tor, which has a bridleway near it. So if we do plan on just staying in camp tomorrow, which I do think is a high probability, I just think that, you know, we could walk to the camp spot just below Sharp Tor tomorrow and camp down there tomorrow night, and then we just got a short walk back to the car Friday. But I'm kind of thinking that if the weather's so awful tomorrow, why not just stay in camp and just do the whole thing back to the car Friday, hopefully with a bit of decent weather. But yeah, so this is all these rocks and everything here. This is all part of Great Mis Tor. So I've kind of lost count. So we've done 1, 2, 3, I don't know, we've done about 5 today, something like that. So in total we've probably done about 15 or 16 on this trip, and there's hundreds of them. Oh. Alright, well there's a really big, let's have a look at the map while we're up here, because we've got some really quite big valleys around here, and then there's a big tor over there, so I don't know what that one is, to be honest, at the moment. So I think it's worth having another look at the map and just see. I'm thinking that we want to be going that way and then camping down there, but that's just, and then we head back over there tomorrow. But I don't know, my sense of bearings when I haven't got map and compass or the phone, it might even be we need to go that way. Okay, yeah, so we want to go across there. It's steep down there. We don't want to be down here anyway. We want, especially if we're going to be staying a night down here, so we want to go down, cross there, and then up into that valley there, and then Lynch Tor is over there somewhere, and then our sort of tours and everything are somewhere over there, that one on the horizon right in front of us, literally at, wow, 12:30, if you get what I mean, like 12 o'clock, 12:30 in front of us. That's Fair Tor, and that's about 7 kilometers from here, but we don't want to go that far. We just really want to get down into this valley down here. Right, well, we're just coming down from Great Mis Tor and we're heading for that valley through there, so I need to start heading back down again a bit more. Sometimes you kind of you find a path and then it kind of doesn't go exactly where you want it to go. But looking here, there's a possible spot over there that actually maybe now looks a bit bumpy, but there's, you know, a possible couple of spots before we've even started. So I'll check the map, because I mean, if they're good, then I think I'll take them. But equally, I might be tempted, because let's face it, it's not as if someone else is going to be coming around here trying to camp and nab a spot or anything. So I'll see how far away it is from Lynch Tor, and if it's much more than a kilometre. If it's less than a kilometre, then I think I might just take these spots here, because I think for the want of a kilometre I can, you know, I can walk that easily enough in good weather on Friday. But if it's much more than a kilometre, it might be worth just wandering up the valley a little bit, see whether I see something else, knowing that if I don't, I've got this spot here. I could go like a kilometre up, something like that, but I'll have a look. I had a look at it. It's not as good as, this is the problem with trying to find places. From high up it looked a perfect flat area, but it's not that flat and it's very stony. And given I ideally want to have 2 nights there, I don't think that's a very good option. So I think I'm gonna carry it. It is 1 kilometre from here to the bridleway that takes me basically kind of off the moor, so I can get back on for Hare Tor and such. So I think let's walk up, and you know, we've got a kilometre to play with. I would have stopped there if that had been good. I would have stopped there, because it's only a kilometre to go, but given it's not very good, I think better to go on upstream and have a look further up. All right, well, I think I found somewhere. The first spot was just down there, and then just a little bit further up I found this spot here. So I've kind of figured out, I don't know why I never thought about this before, but I kind of sort of think, right, well, that's where I want to be lying through there, the left of that pole. So the front of the Trailstar kind of comes up to here-ish. So I probably want the back of the Trailstar, you know, about here, and then we can try and miss that muck there. And then I'll be kind of sleeping up through there, and then I can cook over there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. There is a path, it looks like this is a ford here, but I really don't think very many people are going to be, you know, I would prefer to be off a path, you know, a bit more, to be honest, but there isn't really any obvious paths going up that way, and the map shows a green line going, you know, that way. So I really don't think we're going to have much, if any, disturbance tomorrow, especially given the forecast. If we do, it's going to be 1 or 2 people, but that's nothing. I'm not going to worry about that. And then basically we are 1 kilometre, so we just need to go on this side. Probably actually better that we've actually crossed the water now, because that side appears to be very wet and boggy all along there. I'm kind of hoping that maybe if we kind of get up over there, we can stay on this side, and maybe it'll be a bit higher ground and a little bit drier. And then it's 1 kilometre to the next bridleway, which might not exist, the same as this one barely exists. And then that takes us past Lynch Tor. To be fair, I probably won't go to Lynch Tor because I will be thinking about getting back Friday now, but we'll go past Bagger Tor, and then obviously we go through that little bit of a road thing, and then after that Hare Tor, Sharp Tor, and then back. Obviously we could do that tomorrow and camp at the bottom of Sharp Tor, but Sharp Tor back to the car is only like, you know, 45 minutes. You know, it's really not very far, and that would be fine. If tomorrow had been nice weather, I probably would have done that. You know, I probably would have thought, okay, let's pack up, let's do it. It's not very far, we just have a relaxing walk tomorrow, and let's pitch up at, you know, the foot of Sharp Tor, where, you know, where we've done, where I did with Sandy. But given the weather's going to be, you know, really miserable tomorrow, what we're gonna get wet. We won't see anything. So hopefully, if the weather holds, then we can actually see something, you know, on our way back on Friday, you know, and make the most of some nice weather. We did 15 kilometers today, so we've done 11 or 12, we'll call it 10 for round figures. So we did 10 on the first day, we did 30 yesterday, so that's 40. We've done 15 today, so that's 55, and then it's a good 15 back to the car, so that'll be about 70 kilometers over, well, 5 days. So I know for many people that's not really very much. And my aim, I will admit, my aim was to try and do 80 kilometers, but you know, I'm quite happy to cut a bit off and have a relaxing day, you know, miss out the rain. Like I said, if it hadn't been for the rain, then, you know, quite likely, you know, I could have done something and added on a couple of kilometers or something, but I've got nothing to prove to anyone, so I'm just here to enjoy myself. And that's it. So I'm going to set up camp and we will catch up in a minute. We've got very rocky ground here, so if you have rocky ground, then use a small peg to find a hole. There, remember where that hole is, and then put your bigger peg in, and then take that peg out and put that peg on. You know what I mean. And it's very, very rocky around here, very, very rocky. So I'm going to do the same on the other points. Okay, well, we finally got it pitched. I pitched it a little bit lower, so we got a slightly lower door, wider door. I don't know if it's realistically any lower, but it's wider. It is pitched lower. I'm pretty sure. My head feels like it's lower inside. I've used longish lines, so it's quite close to the ground. I do find with the Cuban Trailstar, longer lines helps just to give you more angle to play with. So, you know, obviously we will see. There's really bad weather coming through tomorrow, so we'll see how it gets on in that tomorrow. It will definitely be windier than what it currently is, so we'll kind of see how it goes. But like I said, we've got a wider door anyway, so we'll probably duck inside. It's 10 to 6, and unless it stops raining, which it might and it might not do, then we'll just stay under cover. You know, it will be dark in 10 to 6, 7, 8. Well, it's still 3 hours of you know, there is still 3 hours of daylight. But like I said, we have got it pitched. It really is not the easiest of shelters to, you know, to pitch. It really does take taming, and I'm finding, you know, that you put a peg in and then you make an adjustment somewhere else, and then that peg's then in the wrong place because it's moved, so you got to move that peg. So if you know, with the Cuban Trailstar, you really do have to be very patient with it, you know, and get it pegged out. Just take your time. You can see my head is touching it, you know, which it wasn't doing yesterday or the day before. So, you know, we can definitely ascertain from, you know, the height of my head to the material that, you know, we are lower. So that is we may not have a tape measure, but we've got a Tony head. And Tony's big head is a very good a very good measurement. So we've got everything filled up with water. So we've got both platypuses completely filled and my small bottle there. So that should get us through most of tomorrow. What we will have to do tomorrow, we will have to get more water. So at some point we will have to duck out. I'm not exactly sure where I will want this at the moment, but we'll put it there for now. I think we'll probably want it a little bit further up. We've got time to play with it. And my equipment. I mean this equipment, not that equipment. Tony, Phil. Actually, I think what another thing I'm just going to do as well now, one spoon. Under here, it's really quite warm. Outside, it's quite cool. But I must admit, as soon as you're under cover, it starts to warm up. Like I said, I've taken off that wind shirt because I literally don't need it under here. I might even, well, I will put my t-shirt on soon. It probably will cool off later. I'll just show you. I mean, you're not really going to get very much closer to the ground, you know, than that. That is pretty close, but we don't need that space. there. A few bits of sheep muck around here. I think we've got more sheep muck in here than there is grass almost, so sometimes you just can't be too fussy. We've had hardly any insects. We had a few yesterday in the evening when we first arrived. You know, it's almost as if they pop by just to sort of say hello, and they didn't really bother us again after that. So that's all my nighttime stuff in there. Basically I've got my leggings. Actually, I'll show you what I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you in a minute. So this is the Bug Bivvy. So you know it's not. This is a super light bivvy. This is a medium. I highly recommend that you get large or extra large. Medium it's just about big enough for me, but I can feel that when I'm inside it, it feels like it's compressing the down a bit. So I don't think it's making the down sleeping bag as efficient, you know, as it should be. So I definitely would go large or extra large, or go for a lighter mat, a thinner mat I mean, or as one of my viewers, Elusive Dartmoor I think is the name, they just use one of these foam mats. Must have the bounciness of a billy goat or something. I'd be most uncomfortable on just that. I'm too much of a softie. I've got to have some creature comforts. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll blow the bed up and then we'll be back. So basically all we've got is one PhD M-degree sleeping bag, one PhD wafer jacket, both like very light, one t-shirt which I will put on later, pillow, and a beanie hat in case my head gets cool at night. It's unlike, I haven't needed it, but for the want of 40 grams. Senshi Designs leggings. Really, I kind of brought them if my trousers were sort of soaking wet and I just wanted something dry in camp, or if it's a bit cool in the sleeping bag, it just gives a small microclimate, and it's like 30 grams. And socks, merino liner socks, and they're nice, you know, to wear in the sleeping bag. Just keeps your feet, you know, away from all that. So basically, in case anyone is thinking he's got a lot, my layering system consists of one, which I've thankfully not needed, Montane wafer waterproof. It's 110 grams. I don't know how good it is in the rain because it's not rained and I've not needed it, you know, when it rained and was foggy. So basically I've got a t-shirt which I like to wear in the sleeping bag, and if I was cold I could wear it under this, but clearly not needed there. So one t-shirt, one shirt, the wind shirt, that's 3 layers in total, the wind shirt. The down jacket is the 4th layer, and then the waterproof is the 5th layer, and that's it. You know, you could argue that I don't need that, but I like that, you know, to sleep in. The down jacket I've not really needed. A couple of times I've put it on when I first got into camp. Last night I put it on for 15 minutes and then I quickly took it off. So I probably could have done without that. But again, for the want of 140 grams, you know, I think it's worth bringing. And that's it. That is all the clothes I've got. This ultra lightweight cooking pot, which, you know, maybe I'll show tomorrow in a video, as we're going to be in camp all day tomorrow. So maybe I ought to show that, and food. And bizarrely, I seem to have brought a lot more food than I'm likely to get through. I normally eat everything, you know, that I bring, but I'm likely to have food left over this trip. That's, I'd rather have food left over than not enough. And that's it. That's everything. Water on to boil. Definitely boiling much quicker now I've done my little alteration. So what we're going to have today, we didn't eat yesterday because I think I was so exhausted, I just didn't really feel very hungry. So we've got homemade pasta, sorry, I just bought pasta, and bolognese. Pasta and homemade bolognese and pasta. So we just tipped the packet in there, and that will probably hydrate fairly quickly. It's still got, the flame is still burning. So once that starts to boil again, I'll attempt to lift it off the flame, blow the flame out, and then leave it for 10-15 minutes. Bolognese works very well in these things. It's better than my turkey meal. Oh, the flame's gone out anyway. Okay. All right, so it's pretty much on the boil. So I'm going to put the lid on. I saved weight and brought a foil. We'll put the lid on. I saved weight with a foil lid on that one. And we'll have a look in about 15 minutes. I might just put a little bit more fire under it, but, you know, we'll leave it for the minute and see how it goes. Okay, all right, well, in the end I left it about I don't know, about 25 minutes, and I boiled it back again a little bit more, but it's pretty decent now. Yeah, it's not bad now. Yeah, if you do bolognese and then just, you know, a portion or a portion and a half, dehydrate it, add in about 40 grams of pasta, and then you've got a nice meal here. It probably hydrated a little bit quicker than the 25 minutes, but it's been very, very hot, so I've just left it. I mean, the longer you leave it, the better, really. But it's not bad at all. A little bit chewy, but not bad though. All right, well, I'm gonna carry on enjoying that.